Moving on to the drugs. You knew this was going to come.
Okay, drugs got to be there, man. We just had sex, now we're going to have drugs.
It's usually the other way. Hey, Honky Tonk. Do you think the steroid testing that the WWE are doing these days will work to stop drugs in wrestling? Peter from Melbourne, Australia.
Okay, Peter. All you have to do is take one look at the guys on TV. I look at Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. He comes out of rehab. He's been gone, what, 6 months, 8 months with an injury? And he comes back looking bigger than he was when he left? Well, now you got to remember, he's in the family, so he's probably not going to get the same test. Vince goes in the ring, and Vince is a licensed professional wrestler, and Vince has a talent contract. Does Vince take the test? When he's on the front of a Muscle magazine, ripped to fucking shreds, and he walks out there all cocky like this, and then I see this kid Batista. I'm not picking on anybody because I don't know this kid Batista, but I can tell you one fucking thing. He ain't drinking the same goddamn shit I'm drinking. I can tell you that. And you look at Chris Benoit, and when I met Chris, he was 140 pounds, skin and bones. Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid. And you're telling me they take the same fucking vitamins I take? They drink the same fucking bottle I drink? Die.
But what kind of steroid testing policy do they have then? How do they get away with it?
Well, they don't test for human growth hormone because it is a very expensive test to do. Even the Olympic Committee now is just starting to do it. That's how they're catching people. It's a very expensive test to do. It's one that you just can't randomly go in and say, I'm going to test 30 of these guys. They look like they're on steroids. So they don't test for the human growth hormone, and that's how they're getting around it. And they can say, well, we can let our guys have their testosterone's level higher. Higher than fucking who? The general fucking public? Now, if we come in here and we take the camera guy right there, if I took a goddamn test on his testosterone level, or Eric Sims over there from ESS Promotions, if I took his testosterone level, and I took the big man sitting over here, the bouncer, and I took yours and I took mine, and we compared it to 5 fucking guys in the WWE, and they say their levels are 10 times higher, how the fuck are they 10 times higher than mine? Or yours? Or yours? Or yours? From what? What the fuck are they taking to get their testosterone level higher than the average person? That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Will they stop it? No, they won't stop it, because what they will do is say, we're not going to test for this, we're not going to test for that, and you can go take these masking agents, and when you're paying a guy $750,000 a fucking year, he can afford $10,000 a year for a masking agent. He can afford it. When you're paying a guy $150,000 a year, or $50,000 a year, or $25 a fucking month, do you know who this is going to hurt? This is where I'll get really pissed off. I'm glad you brought that question up from Melbourne, Australia. This is where I get really, really pissed off. Do you know where this fucking drug test is going to hurt? Do you know who's going to hurt the most? Do you know who it's going to hurt first and foremost?
The guys on the undercard.
The local independent shows. Why? Because the legislatures in these fucking states and these provinces and the federal government are going to say, we need to regulate wrestling now. We need to have drug testing on everyone. So we're going to have these wrestling commissions come back again. And who's going to get tested? A $300 drug test on a fucking independent show that you make $150 on. Some independent kid is making gas money and he's going to be drugged. Nobody on the independents takes fucking drugs. Nobody on the independent is doing no fucking steroids. Listen, I see 20 independent wrestlers every weekend. And I wrestle 10 months a year. That's 2,000. I will take those 2,000 boys and line them up against 30 of the fucking WWE boys and say, now test these 2,000, and I can promise you that you won't find 10 of them on the steroids, but you will find 20 out of 30 in the WWE on the juice. But who's it going to hurt? Eric Sims? Tell me, who's it going to hurt? When Joe Panzarino runs a show in New Jersey and the commission comes back and they say everybody's got to have a $300 drug test, he can't have a show anymore.
No, he's out of business.
Who's going to pay it?
He's not.
He's not going to pay it, so the promoter says, fuck it, we don't run any more shows. So who's out of business? Me. I don't take no steroids. Fuck. Shit, that ain't no fucking steroid fucking arm. Look at my arm compared to Batista or Triple H trying to be the warrior. That's the problem, and I'm glad you brought this up because it's a very passionate problem with me. And I would hope that they bring me over to Congress and let me testify and say, well, listen, here's what you guys are going to do. You're going to hurt all the young kids who want to break in this business because a steroid test is going to run about $300 fucking bucks. And they can come and test you on Friday night in New Jersey, on Saturday night in Pennsylvania. So now you've spent $600 on a drug test, and you might have only gotten paid $50, $75, maybe even gas money. Is it going to hurt McMahon? No. He can pay for the test. He's going to take it off the top, right out of their fucking check. They never miss it. A guy says, I want first class plane tickets. Vince goes, okay, sure, we can do that.
And then your check's light the next week, right?
He takes it right off your fucking rods. He's right off the top. You got to be a fucking moron not to understand that.
Perfect.